Since releasing the box, I've had a lot of really thoughtful comments and questions about what actually happened. Was Owen's daughter kidnapped? Was his wife already dead? Was the chest cursed? And why would Owen kill his own family? So in this video, I want to walk through the story and explain the clues we planted and talk about what the ending was intended to reveal. This video is going to contain some major spoilers, so watch the box first before you continue. The film begins with the Franz Kafka quote, "A cage went in search of a bird." That line contains the entire story. Owen sees himself as a person searching for something that was taken from him, but he is actually the cage. He is the source of the confinement, the destruction, and the loss. He believes he's searching for his daughter, but the truth is that he is searching for a way to escape himself. The easiest way to understand this film is we're not watching reality as it objectively happened. We're watching a version of reality that Owen has created for himself. Owen cannot live with what he did, so his mind has built another story. In that story, he's not the person responsible for the loss of his family. He is a grieving father whose daughter was taken from him, and his wife is manically depressed. That false reality allows him to continue functioning, at least at some degree. The house, the routines, the chest, and the search for his daughter all exist inside that denial. A number of viewers suspected very early on that Owen's wife was already dead, and that suspicion was intentional. But so was the moment that seems to contradict it. When Owen tells her he's going to the store and leaves the room, she moves. We included that movement for two reasons. The first was to challenge the viewers who had already decided she was dead. Once she moves, the audience may begin looking for another explanation. Perhaps she is alive but severely depressed, emotionally withdrawn, or completely broken by the loss of her daughter. The idea was not necessarily to erase the viewer's original suspicion, but to make them question it. The second reason is connected to the way the entire film is structured. We are experiencing Owen's reality. In the version of the world that Owen has created, his wife is still alive. So her movement is not only a piece of misdirection for the audience, it's also consistent with what Owen believes he is seeing. Now, the white van is another major clue, and it appears several times throughout the film. From Owen's point of view, the van becomes connected to his daughter's disappearance. He sees it repeatedly and begins to believe people inside may be the kidnappers. It gives his mind an outside threat to focus on and supports the version of events that he's created for himself. When the van is finally seen at the house, we can clearly see that it has a police light bar. Owen was the primary suspect in his daughter's disappearance, and the police were monitoring his activities. Because we are experiencing the story through Owen's distorted reality, he interprets that surveillance as evidence that someone else took her. So just like his wife's movement, the van operates on two levels. To Owen, it confirms the kidnapping story. To the audience, once the truth is revealed, it becomes evidence that the police had been watching him all along. Owen's search is emotionally real, even though the story behind it is false. He missed his daughter. He grieves for her. He desperately wants her back. The tragedy is that his grief does not make him innocent. He's mourning something he destroyed. That contradiction is the core of the character. Owen has separated himself into two people, the man who committed the act and the father who believes his child was taken. The second identity allows him to avoid the first. The chest is not literally cursed. It represents compartmentalization. Owen has taken the truth and placed it somewhere he believes it can remain closed. The chest holds what he refuses to acknowledge. It is the physical form of the sealed off part of his mind. That is why he is both drawn to it and afraid of it. Opening the chest means opening the truth. And once the truth begins to surface, Owen's false reality can no longer hold together. The chest does not create the evil in the story, it contains the evidence of an evil that has already happened. One of the most important clues appears in what initially feels like a simple family memory. During the moving day scene, Owen's daughter looks at the chest and says, "That's not a chest, it's a box." Owen's reaction in that moment is not simply grief for a happier time when his daughter was still alive. It's the first crack in the reality he's built around himself. Her words function almost like Owen's subconscious calling to him through the memory, correcting the safer name he's given the object. It is not a chest, it is a box. It is the box. And somewhere beneath the version of reality where we are watching, Owen knows exactly what it contains. That is why the moment affects him so deeply. He may believe he's grieving the memory of his daughter, but the pain rising to the surface is also connecting to what he has hidden inside that box. The scene, therefore, works in two ways. It gives us a tender memory of a family before everything fell apart, while quietly allowing the truth to begin pushing through Owen's denial. The daughter is speaking naturally within the memory, but on another level, the line becomes a warning from the part of Owen that can no longer keep the truth completely sealed away. Now we get to the big question. Did Owen kill his family? Yes, he did. The intended reading is that Owen killed both his wife and his daughter. The film doesn't give a simple explanation for why he did it, and that was deliberate. The story is not primarily about the motive. It's about what happens after a person commits something so terrible that he can no longer exist inside the truth of it. We didn't want to provide an easy answer. That would make the act understandable or reduce it to one cause. The point is not that Owen had a good reason. The point is that he created another reality because no reason could make what he did acceptable. Several viewers have asked why the film does not clearly explain what drove him to do it. A more objective film may have shown the argument, the violence, or the events leading to the murders. But the box begins after Owen has already rewritten his own history. We're not watching a murder mystery from the outside, we're watching the denial from the inside. The box is ultimately a story about guilt, denial, and the mind's ability to build a reality that allows someone to survive the unbearable. Owen is not simply hiding the truth from the world, he's hiding it from himself. The chest is not cursed. The house is not controlling him. His daughter was not taken by someone in a white van. The real horror is that Owen already knows what happened. He's simply constructed an entire life around never having to admit it. Thank you to everyone who watched the film, commented, shared their theories, and spent time thinking about the story. Even when viewers interpreted certain moments differently than I intended, those conversations were part of what I hoped the film could create. Because once the truth is revealed, the real question is not simply what happened, it is how long Owen can continue to believe that it didn't.